Cricket is not gender biased. It isn't that men's cricket is different and women's a different one. The more you win, the brand of women's cricket will go higher. People were not even knowing that women's cricket existed. And from that phase to today where people would want to follow women's cricket, I think we have come a long way. I began my journey as a captain when I was just 21 to 22, and leading the Indian side for so many years has helped me also grow as a person. My growth as a person pretty much has happened on the ground along with teammates. There are expectations in everyone's lives. It might be small or big, but then you cannot forget to prioritize what is important and try to focus when it is really needed. Men's cricket sets the bar. We are always trying to reach where they set the standard. Fitness is getting creative as gym equipment is not available at home. I am making do with the resources I have. I'm being given a schedule I can follow by my trainer. Of course, it is not close to the exercises I can do in the gym, but I am trying to do as much as I can to maintain my strength. A couple of my friends told me to get into cooking, but I have not been able to get myself into the kitchen. When you are on the field as a captain, the mind is always working. You cannot relax at any point of time. You are always focusing on what is going to be the next move. What if it doesn't work? What if the situation changes and you have to change your plan? All the people who were needed to be told about my decision were informed. 2021 World Cup would definitely be my swan song. I am looking forward to preparing for the World Cup. A lot of parents today come forward to encourage their daughters to take up sport because they feel women's cricket is growing in India and they can make a profession out of it. There will always be people who will criticize you without knowing the facts. Even at home, I always play with the boys. I only play with the girls when I am closer to the tournament or a series. If you keep winning, people will stay glued to our cricket. As a batter, I would want to see that the best bowler is in my side so I don't have to face him. Whether I lead or not, as a top-order batsman, I feel people expect a lot from me. I also expect that I do get runs and justify my place in the side as a top-order batsman. It is the pride to play for India that keeps me going. Not many get a chance to play for India, and I feel very fortunate to be still playing. The will to do well for India is a big motivation. Although I am not in the thick of things when it comes to T20 cricket, but as an ODI captain, I'd like to give more stability to the players. With more sponsors coming in, media engagements happening, and matches being televised, youngsters can get carried away. In such a scenario, a mentor can step in and help in channelizing the cricketers' energies into the sport. Sometimes, I sketch, but not every day. I sketch random things, whatever I can get my mind into. I'm not a professional, it is just a hobby I've started. I do not make decisions based on emotion, because it is my career and I would like to be more practical when it comes to career. A lot of people have a different perspective on this, but my personal view is that while things have become more professional with we being centrally contracted, we don't play as regularly as the men do. The number of matches we play is too less as compared to men. All of us at some point have been coached by a male cricketer. I strongly believe that they get a lot of intensity into the training sessions. They are very hard taskmasters. I love sleeping, and to inculcate the habit of early rising, my dad forced me to take up a sport. That was the only reason I started playing cricket in the first place, and thereafter it continued. When I am playing, I try to keep the genre very easygoing and breezy. I can't be into the book and not be into the profession I am in. As a captain and as a player, I wanted to lead the team well and score runs, because I know the team still depends on me very much. When we talk about knowledge or tactical plans, if a woman coach has the capability, then she should surely get an opportunity to coach the Indian men's team. But once you get accepted and are trained under the best coaches, these things really help boost your confidence level. Well, I think the turning point, in my opinion, has to be 2006, as in that year we came under BCCI. With that, a lot of facilities were provided to us, a lot of things changed for good and better. From making my international debut as a 16-year-old to now 37, it has been a good 21 years of my prime life spent not at home but at the ground, different countries, hotels, grounds, coaches, travel, etc. It's been a very privileged journey. I am from a South Indian Tamilian family, so all my cousins are into academics and I alone was in sports. I speak Tamil well and I am proud to be living as a Tamil. But above it all, I am very proud Indian. As a young kid in the beginning, I myself did not know that there was women's cricket in India or that there is an Indian women's cricket team. When we left Mumbai to play in the World Cup, there were hardly any journalists to see us off. But when we returned to India on July 25, having made the final, there were close to 100 journalists at 2:30 in the morning. It was totally new. But growing as an India cricketer, it was about the blue jersey and the pride we all felt wearing that jersey. I have captained India in 2 World Cup finals. I definitely want to win the World Cup before I retire. My teammates will tell you I find it hard to remember what happened 2 weeks earlier, let alone what happened a decade and a half back. All of us follow men's cricket because we want at some point that women's cricket would be up there. I would love to mentor youngsters. It's not just about women's cricket, but everywhere, every athlete's momentum has been broken because of COVID-19. Let's say something like Olympics is happening, I will definitely watch because that is something which is live after so many months. I think sports will definitely get people to watch. But if you have live matches and there is TV coverage, I'm sure you have more viewership because people would love to see women's cricket again on television. Cricket was never my first choice. I never wanted to be a sports person. It just happened. It was destiny. Initially, I was into dance and learnt Bharatanatyam for 8 years. I appeared on various TV shows. Unless there is branding, players will not get adequate payment. Why do we want matches to be televised? Why do we want people to turn up for our matches? That's how you will generate revenue. There are a lot of misconceptions that we can't play fast bowling or we can't bowl fast. We should have mixed matches. I have also played a lot of matches against boys because that's how we train. I think at some level the ICC is trying to promote the women's game globally, and that requires them to focus more on ODI and T20I cricket. They are trying to revive the game. We get to play every team before the World Cup, touring in different conditions besides a few series at home. It gives a lot of opportunities to the youngsters. As we play more, we get to see who a quality player is and what plans and strategies would work for the team. With central contracts, you are very well looked after by the board. You do not have to be bothered about anything else. Just put in the hard work and do well for the country. The World Cup, as an event, carries a lot of pressure, irrespective of the number of caps you have earned, and the pressure doubles when you play at home. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.